This is Rebecca Schissel Marshall with Whole Body Upgrade, a podcast to help you get unstuck, feel better, and have more energy. Let's get started. Hello. Welcome to episode 48. I want to begin by welcoming in the directions. I welcome in the great direction of the east, the south, the west, and the north. I welcome in the direction that is above, the direction that is below, and the direction that is within. I welcome in all of the helping and compassionate spirits that are here to guide us so that whatever needs to be said can be said and whatever needs to be heard can be heard. And I acknowledge that I'm on the land of the Creek in the Cherokee in what is now known as Athens, Georgia. Hey friends, I am super excited and slightly terrified right now. Summer is starting here in Georgia, and by the time you listen to this, I will have finished my semester at the university. My kids will be finished with the school year, and my vacation will be very close. I'm also excited because I have a new masterclass coming up called A More Powerful Way to Get Clients Unstuck. This is for coaches. It's June 2nd, and it'll be at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And y'all know, you all probably know if you've been listening, that I am a teacher at heart. I mean, I've been teaching for over 20 years, and this is a great chance for you to learn new information that can help you with your clients, something that you can apply, something that you can use. I know that you already have the coaching skills, but supplementing it with some different holistic skills will really supercharge your clients' progress, their transformation, and will help them to get unstuck with ease. What I have found over the years is it really all boils down to getting to the root of the problem. And many of the coach training programs just simply don't include what I have seen as the framework that helps get to the root of the problem. So I'll be teaching a great deal about this in the webinar that's coming up on June 2nd. And this is like the introduction so that you can get to know the Centered Wellness Training Program, which is a 6-month program that's opening in July. The applications are open right now. If you're interested, if you know you might want to learn more about it, I'll put the link in the show notes to the webpage. And on that webpage is a link to an application. It's no cost to apply. If you think it might be something that you're interested in, I want to encourage you to go ahead and get that application in. And that way, that's how I can see if we're going to be a good fit, if working together will be good. So I'll put the link in the show notes. You can read more about it. It's going to be a really, really, really small group of folks, less than 10 for sure. My hunch is it'll be around 6 or 8 because I wanted to allow for a really deep training. So don't miss your chance to apply. Applications will for sure close by July 1st. So this program and this masterclass, all of these things are actually directly relate to what I want to talk to you about today. What I'll be teaching this centered wellness training. And for me, it's a very important work to get out in the world. It is, as I mentioned, it's for coaches because I feel like coaches aren't taught in their training programs the tools they need to get at the root cause of clients' problems. Now, this is no fault of the coaches, right? This is a problem with the industry as it is right now with the training programs and the way that it's set up. It's not multidimensional. It's not even the coaching training problem. It's not even a fault of theirs. It's just that we are now starting to see things very differently. It's more of, I do a lot of training in functional medicine and integrative medicine, and it comes from a much more holistic approach. A whole nother story, a whole nother episode is why functional medicine and integrative medicine, what they're missing as well. And I digress. So I remember being so frustrated in my own health journey, in my own self-awareness journey, and wanting a more holistic approach instead of spending all my time coordinating different healers. Like, well, I'll go over here for this and I'll go over here for this. And well, this person said it was this and this person said it was this. Bringing that all together for myself and seeing how it could be done was a game changer for me in my own experience. So over the years, I've become an integrative wellness expert. I've been working with guides. I've been working with intuition, with nutrition, with energy, in addition to mindfulness, coaching, and mind-body skills. So when I would go to a training or a workshop, I just kept wishing, and especially like a coach training or a coach workshop, I just kept wishing that mindfulness or nutrition or shamanism would be incorporated. It would just go off in my head like, why aren't they talking about that? That's the same thing. Or there's a simple solution to that in shamanism. They wouldn't address it. They wouldn't incorporate it, mostly because the coaches that were teaching the coach training weren't taught that either, right? So it becomes the handed down version and it's not included. I would take the information that was given in that workshop or that training, and I would bring it back to my clients in bits and pieces and not in a cohesive unit like it could be. So it wasn't as powerful. After lots of trial and error, I found combinations that worked like magic, that really helped get my clients unstuck in a super fast amount of time. So this series of episodes is going to go through the different pieces that have been integrated with my coaching skills in order to amplify my clients' progress so that I can demonstrate to you how they can work together and why they're so important in working together. So this first week, I'm going to talk about energy. It's one of my favorite topics. If y'all have been listening to the podcast, you're probably not surprised that energy is the first one. Quite frankly, I'd say that this is one of the most powerful tools in my practice when it is paired with coaching. Energy, some of the energy work that I've done all by itself is super helpful. It's not as powerful without coaching. Coaching is not as powerful without energy. Energy is not as powerful without coaching. And then, I've got the whole centered wellness framework. So you also need the nutrition part and the how you're taking care of your body, and the mental part, what your thoughts are, and the emotions, right? All of that goes together, the spiritual part. But right now, we're just going to talk about the energetic wellness body. So when I was doing energy work alone, it was amazing. However, when I paired them together, I started to see such a shift that was getting my clients unstuck more easily. So let me just back up a little bit. Let's first talk about energy. What do I mean by energy? And the way I define energy is really a mix of Reiki and shamanism. We're made up of energy. We're all energetic beings. And we have this, what I call a signature energy pattern that is our own, right? Each person has their own energy pattern, their own energy signature. And this signature energy pattern is really important for who we are, our purpose, our health, moving forward in our lives. It's kind of this very subtle but very powerful vehicle that we're all driving around all the time. Our energy wellness body is kind of like wearing a black shirt when you own a white cat. While you don't even have to rub up against the cat, when you are close enough, the white cat hair just finds you like a magnet. I mean, if you've ever owned a white cat or a white dog, you will know what I'm talking about. That is what energy is like. That's like energy. We go to a crowded office building, a grocery store, the airport, a party, a concert, right? All of those different places. And there is lots of energy there and lots of people who don't know how to manage their energy because we aren't taught that in this culture or in this society. So there's lots of energy there, and we might accidentally pick some of it up. Energy can also be siphoned off from other people with cords or attachments from people in our lives. It can be siphoned from us. We can siphon it from other people. Sometimes we don't even know we have these cords or attachments. We can also have energy from spirits that have passed and are hanging around in what we call the middle world, right? There's the upper world, the middle world, which is where the humans kind of walk around on, in the lower world, as a basic simplification. When we have an energy or an entity that doesn't belong to us, that is in our space or in our body, that also can keep us stuck, either stuck in thought patterns, stuck in emotions, stuck in moving forward in our lives. It's a huge factor. It's one of the first things I do with clients is I want to see what their first issue is, and then I want to see if there's any energy that needs to be cleared, removed, extracted, contained, decorded. That's one of the primary things that I find can be super powerful. So when I see clients that are stuck in health or business or life, when I was only using coaching, right, before I had learned all these different skills, when I was just using thought work, clients would either stay stuck or maybe they would try to change their thoughts and it would make a difference. However, it wasn't really getting to the core issue. And that was where it was causing some of the challenges, right? We could start to look at these different layers. It was one layer, it was an important layer, but it wasn't going down these deeper places where it could ultimately free the client. So they would try to change their thoughts and it would change something. It would work. It was like putting a Band-Aid on the cut, but not really getting rid of, to go back to cats, the cat that's biting them, right? It's like, oh, I'll just put a little Band-Aid there. I'll just try to fix that up. But there's still a cat biting you. You want to see if you can get to the root issue to that. Remove the cat. Change the cat from not biting you, right? And to mix metaphors, it's kind of like jumping around and trying to plug a dam with lots of holes and trying to plug each one instead of keep looking to see what's causing all of the holes in the dam. So combining energy with thought work or mindset or whatever you called it in your training program, it makes the change you are trying to create for yourself and your clients that much more powerful. It allows the opportunity of getting to the root issue of the problem and energetically clearing the ties and the connections of the issue. This is huge. This is such a big, it sounds like, well, you just energetically clear it. What's the big difference? But it's like, removing all of that leftover sticky stuff from a sticker when you try to peel it off. It's like getting all of it off so there's no residue left, no imprint. So I'll give you an example. When a client is stuck, let's say in pursuing their passion and building a business, I also work with women who are building their businesses. She might notice that she can't put forward putting her new course into the world. She might have the thought, this will never work, right? Or no one will buy it. And we could work on those thoughts and she might see some change, right? We can ask her to change those things. Now, thought work can be very powerful, right? I'm not saying don't do thought work. I'm saying it's hugely powerful. And what I found is when you pair that thought, when you get that thought together with the energetic work, and you actually jump across timelines, going back to the seed moment to heal where the original thought came from, then the client can start to make more broad and holistic changes, right? It changes their own, it kind of clears their energetic signature. It clears that imprint, that blueprint that they have of whatever it is they're creating. One of my long-term clients has been working with me for quite a long time. And before I started incorporating some of this energy work into our sessions, he felt better when we were working together. There was a change, there was transformation, and yes, all of that was happening. And when I started this particular work, I started going back to the seed moment for him. He started not needing to see me as often. He had a much bigger amount of change happening to him. He shifted from being more in he was in more of a survival mode, but we kept fixing each week. He would come back, we'd fix. He would come back, we'd fix. Then it shifted to being more about thriving. How can I move this to move forward? How can I do this to have more powerful choices? And his progress was amazing. It was amazing to watch. I remember being like almost shocked in the next phone call as we didn't have the same conversation anymore. He was like, I'm really actually doing okay. I don't need much anymore. And he started taking action. He started having these huge changes. And that can be really important, especially if you have clients that are dealing with a traumatic event. That can be hugely important. So energy can also be removed to help clients move forward in their health. If an entity is present, it can lead to health issues. And no amount of, mind, body work or supplements is going to change that person's health if the root cause is an energetic presence that doesn't belong to them. So that's why I often say when clients have tried everything, right, then they come to me because it's like, oh, there's an energetic problem that needs to be fixed, the root cause of that. Now, some clients don't have that. Some clients don't have the energetic. And so then we'll talk about the other 5 wellness bodies, and some of those other ones might be the root cause instead. So this is all part of the centered wellness framework. The energy wellness body has a huge influence on all other aspects of who we are. And when you as a coach can address all aspects of the person, when you can address all of those wellness bodies, then your client's progress skyrockets. You aren't just looking at, I can only help people with this one issue. You can start to address all of them. It's kind of like finding the Holy Grail. That's what I like to think of it. So when you learn this work, then you'll start to wonder why everyone isn't doing it, which is exactly why I am starting to train coaches to use this particular framework, to use the centered wellness framework. It is, in my experience, deep and magical work, and it's really part of my mission to get out into the world. Okay, sweet friends, I hope this information about how energy can support your coaching clients is helpful for you. Next week, I'll be talking about another skill that isn't traditionally part of coach training that can also help boost your practice. Okay, dear ones, take care of yourselves. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whole Body Upgrade. If you'd like to learn more about working with me, you can visit me on Facebook or Instagram or on my website, CenteredYou, that's CenteredYou.com. See you on the next episode of Whole Body Upgrade.